But you never tell me I need to pay all this cost, bro. I don't have money to pay so many things in cash, yeah. You will assume foreign buyers have already done their research properly and that their agents will have explained all the major costs before they sign on anything. But trust me, many still do not know a lot of costs involved in buying property in Johor, Malaysia as a foreigner. And unfortunately, this happens way more often than it should. There are even real horror stories of buyers who only find out certain costs must be paid upfront in cash after they have already signed the sales and purchase agreement, and at that point it is too late. Wasted time, wasted effort, and worst of all, your dream Johor home suddenly become a nightmare. So in today's video, let me break it down for you. So to share what are the 5 major hidden costs every foreign buyer must know when buying property in Johor, beyond just the selling price and the interest you pay for financing for loan. To make this super clear, I'll use an example, a 900,000 new commercial title service apartment purchased directly from a developer to be financed with loan, not subsale or resale, because for subsale costs are slightly different, and I'll show you exactly how each of these costs is calculated one by one. So stay tuned. This video will save you a lot of stress and surprises later. First up, foreign levy or Johor state consent fee. This is the famous one. If you're a foreigner buying property in Johor, you cannot escape this. It is basically the state consent fee you must pay before the property can legally be transferred to your name. Most foreigners only hear about this at the very end and then panic because it is not a small number. So let us simplify the whole thing. So what is the foreign levy? Johor imposes a sale levy on all foreign property purchases. It applies regardless of whether the property is a residential title, commercial title, service apartment under HDA Housing Development Act, whether it is new launch or subsale, resale. If you are a foreigner, you pay it. So Johor increased the foreign levy recently from 2% of the property price, minimum 20,000, to 3% of the property price, minimum 30,000 for residential properties, effective 1st July 2025. But here's the important detail many people do not know. For service apartment, commercial under HDA have a different structure. So let us break that down clearly for you. For residential title properties, the minimum levy is 30,000, applies to properties below 1 million. For commercial title, service apartment, service residence under HDA, if it is below 1 million, it is at a flat minimum of 50,000. If 1 million and above, levy follows the percentage rate, 3% calculations applied to the SPA price. So once the unit goes above 1 million, you're no longer paying the flat 50,000, you are paying the percentage-based levy, which can become a much larger number. Our example today is a 900,000 service apartment. It is below 1 million threshold, so the levy is 50,000 flat, not including administrative fee, etc. So this is charged per unit. So when do you pay the foreign levy? The timing is important. So foreign levy is not paid at SPA signing itself, but typically on or shortly before SPA signing, because the solicitor need to prepare the state consent applications Legally, it is payable to the Johor Land Registry within 30 days from the date the state authority issued a consent letter, but in practice, most developers, lawyers will ask you to pay at SPA stage, so your applications doesn't get delayed. So Johor usual minimum purchase price for foreigner is 1 million, meaning foreign buyers are only allowed to buy properties 1 million and above as the default rule. But some projects have obtained a special state approval allowing foreigners to buy as low as 400,000. If you want to know which project these are, just feel free to reach out to me and I'll share more details. Alright, now the next major cost, stamp duty on the memorandum of transfer, or what everyone call it, MOT. This one is super important, especially after the latest Malaysian budget announcements. What is MOT? It is the legal document used to transfer the property title to your name. Once the unit is completed and ready for handover. So this is different from the SPA where you agree to buy the property. MOT is the title when the title is officially transferred to you. So as of today, the stamp duty on the MOT for foreign individual and foreign companies is 4% of the property price. This is the rate currently in force. The Malaysian budget 2020 is the government is now proposed increase for foreigner to 8% of the property price. If it is passed in Parliament, this is a proposal not fully enforced yet, but if it become law, it double the cost for foreigners. So you really need to understand what this means for you. When is MOT stamp duty payable? A lot of buyers misunderstand this part. The MOT stamp duty is not payable when you sign the SPA. It is only payable when the property is ready for title transfer, which usually happen at vacant possessions, VP, or when the MOT is executed and stamped. So this is normally 3 to 4 years after SPA signing for new loan, depending on construction progress. So why this time matters? Because even if you sign your SPA today, your MOT might only be stamped years later. So if your VP happen after the new 8% become effective, then your stamp duty will follow the new rate, not the rate during the SPA signing. This is the part that many foreigners will be caught by surprise. For example, in our 900,000 service apartment, current rate is 4%. 4% times 900,000, it is 36,000. With a proposed new rate of 8% times 900,000, it is going to be 72,000. That is a difference of 36,000, which is a lot of money. But the good news is some development, especially new launch, they offer partial absorptions of MOT or full absorptions of MOT. That is rare but possible. Or developer will provide rebate or equivalent discount. This can easily save you tens of thousands of ringgit. If you want to know which project currently offer MOT absorption, just reach out to me because each developer incentive package is different and they change from time to time. Third, legal fee. This is another big item, and yes, this one is in cash, not part of your housing loan. If you're a loan buyer, when you buy property in Malaysia, especially a new launch, there are two sets of legal fee you need to understand. So let me break it down thoroughly. First is SPA legal fee, for sales and purchase agreement. This is the fee your solicitor charges to prepare, review, and execute the SPA. So the SPL legal fee, it is based on scale. You know, for the first 500,000, it will be 1.25%. For the next 501,000 to 7 million, it is 1%. And amount above 7 million ringgit Malaysia, it is subject to negotiations, but not above 1%, excluding service tax. So for our example, 900,000 property, for the first 500,000, it will be times 1.25 for 6,250. For the next 400,000, 1%, so 4,000, it will come to a total cost of 10,250. Second legal fee is loan agreement for loan buyer. If you are taking a Malaysian property loan, you need another set of documents for loan agreement, charge, deed of assignment, facility agreement, and this follow the same fee scale but based on your loan amount. For example, if you obtain a 80% loan margins for 900,000, which means 720,000, the first 500 will be 1.25 for 6,250. The next will be 220,000 times to 1%, 2,200. In total, it will be 8,450. So there are also disbursement charges aside from the main fee. You'll pay for land searches, stamping, for copies, registration fee, file opening, admin fee, courier, printing, usually another 500 to 1,500. By good news for new launch buyer, many developers offer free SPL legal fee, free loan legal fee, free disbursement, meaning you could save 10,000 to 30,000 easily for new launch. But not all projects offer this, and some only offer a partial absorption. Next up, loan stamping fee. So this one is straightforward, but many foreigners forget to include it when budgeting. When you take a loan from a Malaysian bank, the loan agreement needs to be stamped before it becomes legally enforceable, and the government charges a fee for that. So what is the loan stamping fee? Very simple. It is 0.5% of your loan amount. So this is a fixed rate nationwide. It is not state-based, so it applies whether you're Malaysian or foreigner. So let us apply it to our example for our property price of 900,000, assuming 80% loan margins, 720,000 loan amount. The loan stamping fee will be 0.5% time to your loan amount of 720,000, which come to 3,600. And yes, this amount must be paid in cash. Normally during the loan documentation stage, not included in your housing loan. So when do you exactly pay this? It is usually collected by the bank and a lawyer during the loan agreement signing stage. So you pay this early before progressive payment start. So make sure you budget for it, unless developer provide willing to absorb for it. Lastly, renovation and furnishing costs. This is the part that many foreigners underestimate. Even if you are buying a partially furnished new launch, Malaysia definition of partial is different from other countries. Let me explain. What developer usually provide partial furnishing for most service apartment and condo. Partially furnished means typically it include air conditioners, kitchen cabinet, hob and hood, bathroom fitting, basic tile, and basic flooring. It is a good start, but definitely not move-in ready. You still need to budget for everything else to make the place livable. What you will still need to buy for real-world scenarios for foreigners usually end up paying for stuff like light and ceiling fans, curtains, additional carpentry, wardrobe, TV feature, shoe cabinet, bed frame, mattresses, sofa, dining table, chairs, fridge, water, dryer. So if you're an investor, you're planning for Airbnb, you got to have smart lock, keyless entry system, maybe kitchen utensil, towel, decorative items. So a lot of this stuff add up very fast. So how much does renovation really cost? So this really depends heavily on your purpose. If you're for investment, what is your target markets, whether you are targeting long-term tenant. So basic setup to attract reliable tenant, maybe 15,000 to 30,000. For investment, Airbnb type, for short stay, you need to look nicer, more decor, 25,000 to 50,000. So for on-stay, it really depends on you whether you are going for mid-range or more custom carpentry, better appliances, 35,000 to 70,000. If you're going for a premium lifestyle unit, high-end finishes, feature wall, designer lightings, it might cost 80,000 to 150,000. So a simple rule of thumb that I always tell my client is renovation will easily cost at least 5% to 10% of the property price. So for example, in our case of 900,000 service apartment using the standard investor setup, minimum renovation budgets 5% times 900,000. It will come to about 45,000. And remember, always renovation and furnishing costs are 100% cash and is not covered by any housing loan. So why this matters for foreign buyers? Because even if the unit is partially furnished, you cannot just move in with your luggage. If you plan to rent it out, tenant and Airbnb guests expect a fully equipped home, not just a shell. If you are not careful, the surprise renovation bill can hit harder than the foreign levy or the stamp duty for MOT. So before we wrap up, there are still a few more costs that foreigners should keep in mind, especially if you're buying a subsale instead of a new launch, such as agent fee, bank valuation fee. You got to also budget for ongoing operating costs, maintenance fees, sinking fund. These costs are one-off. So remember to include them in your annual rental yield calculations for investor. So it is very important for you to understand all costs are due up. This is a point that many foreign buyers misunderstand. Some items like foreign levy, legal fee, loan stamping fee are typically due around SPA or loan signing phase, but some costs are actually due much later, such as the renovations costs are when you get your key or maintenance, the MOT is when you receive your vacant possessions. But just because it is not payable upfront doesn't mean you should not budget for it. So a smart investor always plan for the total cost, not just the down payment. So in summary, buying property in Johor as a foreigner comes with more cost than what people expect. And 9,000 units can easily require 100,000 in cash above the down payment, depending on your furnishing level, loan amount, and timing of VP. That is why proper planning is key. I always tell my client, don't just look at the property price, look at the total cost of ownership from booking to completions to moving in or renting out. So If you are interested in Johor properties and you want me to help you calculate the exact total budget for the project you are considering, just reach me out. I'll be more than happy to help you. Till next time, thank you for watching.